What's up, guys? We're back at it again, doing another live stream as I work through the rest of this Vulkan tutorial. Feel free to follow along. Hope you find it helpful. Vulkan is a full-stack JavaScript framework. It uses a lot of the modern tooling like GraphQL, Apollo, of course React, and then Mongo on the back end. So I'm going to kind of talk my way through it. Wanted to go ahead and finish that tutorial tonight and figured I might as well stream it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to pull up the tutorial and actually share my screen first. All right, there we go. All right, here's all this. How do I end up doing this every time? Oops, that probably wasn't good, was it? All right. I just like a clean desktop. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you see me. All right, getting it going here, making sure I'm presentable. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're at step 7, I believe, or 9, and now we're getting into kind of the meat of GraphQL, which I'm excited about. So go ahead and figure out. Okay, work area. Build up our app starting on step 10. Okay, great. Okay. I know I've talked in the last video. I still feel like I need to wrap my head around the whole like package-based architecture that Vulkan uses. It's pretty different than what I've been used to. But anyway. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is, oh wait, that's it. I thought I had to actually client and server. Okay, package.js, client and server, Meteor tells the files what to do in each, and then by convention, every file outside of client and server will be loaded in both environments. Okay. React on the back end is pretty interesting. Both, modifying files in both. Okay. Getting started. Tutorial once you're through. Okay. Oh, wait. I was in the wrong spot. That's what it was. Okay. Sorry about that. Jeez. All right. Resolvers. Just because the data is available in the database doesn't mean the client can access it. That's true. We can connect to the GraphQL endpoints. Resolver. Okay, so the resolver connects the GraphQL endpoint to the database. a function that waits for any GraphQL queries mentioning a specific field and then provides data in return. In previous steps, we actually used two resolvers in the background, schema contents and movies count. Okay. These two resolvers were written specifically for this tutorial and are limited. Okay, so now Vulkan has default resolvers. Go back to lib modules collection.js. Lib modules collection. Resolvers, get default resolvers, movies. Default resolvers, that's interesting. Okay. Notice the two movie and movie resolvers. Site data, current user, schema contents, user settings, callbacks, and movies is all the stuff we get. I don't notice movies and movie in here. And then just movie. Okay, gotcha. Create collection. Maybe that's what it's talking about. Resolvers. Okay. Another thing that's really striking me about Vulkan is just like how much magic there is. I guess since it's trying to be the Rails of JavaScript, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I feel like it's like you're writing a GraphQL query, but I don't know any more about GraphQL than when we started this. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave this up in case homies want a message. That's never really happened, but okay. We didn't even have to write a custom resolver. GraphQL supports introspection queries, which is metadata about your own schema. Graphic. Okay, this is the thing I was trying to find in the last live stream. That's interesting. I guess we're not using Apollo. Maybe we're not using Apollo. Let's look at package.json just for our notification. GraphQL. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why we're using handlebars. It's pretty crazy. I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, so we are using Apollo. It's weird. Where is this used? Package. Oh, for emails. Interesting. Okay. Learn something every day. Okay. Query. Interesting. The results of movies. Okay, so we'll try this. So these are all our movies. Pretty cute. I mean, this is it's pretty sick. I like the whole GraphQL thing. I want to actually write a query and a schema, but we'll see if we get to that maybe. So that's the whole thing about GraphQL, right? Is you choose what fields you want back. So let's say I don't want the review, and I don't get the review on any of them now. It's pretty cool. Okay, move on. Loading data. Higher order components. Okay. With multi and with single can be used to load a list of documents or a single document. Okay. Minimal amount of manual work. So there's all this out of the box stuff, which is cool. Movies list component and uncomment with multi options. Excuse me. All right. So it's a higher order component. It's a little slow to re-render if we're honest, but that's okay. Okay, so now we get this list, which is great. All we had to do is pass the collection option. That's interesting. Yeah, where do the options? Oh, it just tells the movies collection and it loads it. That's pretty cool, actually. Interesting. And just copy and paste this syntax structure. Awesome. When GraphQL supports the ability to specify exactly what data you need, individual field, fragments. I guess that is a Vulkan specific thing. Excuse me again. Okay, so we didn't pass a fragment with the hardware component, but we can specify the fields we want because it's GraphQL after all. So that's pretty great. All right, fragment name and then movies fragment or movie fragment. Okay. Here it says movie fragment. Here it says movies fragment. So you tell me. So it's movies there. It's plural. That's wrong in the docs. Okay. And so that's defined somewhere. I wonder if there's like a schema, GraphQL schema. Nothing about fragment. Oh, here's fragments. Okay. Interesting. So that it's literally just like a template literal. That's interesting. Comment on step 12. That's our next step. Which is great. Since the review field wasn't included in the fragment, it's no longer being sent to the client. But if we add it, will it come back? Yeah. Okay. Pretty interesting. Always play around and don't just be a robot. Got to understand how things work. That's my advice. Okay. Step 12. Harness the power of GraphQL and of GraphQL's coolest features that you're not limited to the fields. Don't careless about your database. It follows what you specify. Okay. You're not limited to the fields in your database. It only follows what you specify. User ID and field type of string can make our GraphQL schema contain a user field of type user instead. That's interesting. Field resolvers. Find the user ID and lib module schema and add the following property: resolve as. That's interesting. Okay, so you can call something different in the API than how it actually is like living in the database, apparently. Okay. Resolve as field name. Okay, so that's great. Our new schema field should be named user, returning type capital U user, which is the user's collection type, is defined in Vulkan users core package. I'm going to add the original field to the GraphQL schema. context. Okay. Movie args context. Oh, wait. Interesting. Current. Okay, so current document. Any query arguments in the context. Okay. The user with the movie user ID data. Okay, gotcha. Data loading helper that will perfect. Fetch from Mongo in a performance optimized manner, which is great. Okay. I wonder if they mean for it to be like that. Whoa. Interesting. Lib modules fragments. Well, this is the first real error I've run into. Cannot query field user on type movie. Did you mean user ID? No. Pretty interesting. Lots of errors with multi. Well, it's asking me if I mean user ID, so just try that, I guess. Type string has no subfields. So it's looking for a string there, which is interesting. Oh, I didn't add this schema, this resolver yet. Lib modules schema. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, because we're calling this field user now, and because we did that, it's available to us in the schema or in the fragment as user, and we're just asking for display name, which is great. I wonder where that, so this is schema for each type, I guess. Or this is each field, right? Review, yeah, review name. This is one schema for just for movies, which is interesting. Okay. Resolve as. Interesting. Okay. All right. The graph part of GraphQL means we can traverse our API graph using nested structures, leveraging each type's existing resolvers, without actually needing to store each user's display name inside our movies document. Ah, yeah, that makes sense because display name is actually a part of user, not movies. So that's cool. So when we go back to fragment, it's available to us, which is great. All right. User accounts, movie users. So this is what I'm excited about with Vulkan is how easy it makes accounts because it uses Meteor's account system. So very fired up about that. And shift tab that guy, actually. Just trying to get rid of unnecessary space. Boom. Accounts login form, and that's it. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to go Peter at peter.com. Peter123. I need to sign up. Username. Okay, great. Don't have a favicon, which is fine. And now it's greeting me, which is great. Automatically, I'm an admin, which is great. Okay, sub 14. I wonder if I have a cookie or how does this work? Yes, I have a token from Meteor. Expires tomorrow. 61 characters, I guess. Okay. Modify state on the server, right. Default mutations, lib modules collection, and uncomment mutations. So we can create, update, and delete now, which is great. Create users and movies. Pretty easy, honestly. Default mutations, you can write your own. New, edit, and remove mutations on the server if you need to, which is great. Okay, forms. I don't get it. How do I actually add a movie? Doesn't make sense. Let's see if that worked. Probably give me, yep, okay. Generate forms to you from a collection schema, which is great. New movie. Specify the collection. Smart form. Mutation fragment name. Same shape. Okay, so I need this. And movies new. I'm just going to uncomment. Okay. Oh, here's the form. Great. So I'm going to say submit. And it's just me on the top. Instantaneous. Pretty awesome. I'm excited about Vulkan, guys. You can build forms to edit documents the same way. Just pass an additional document ID prop. Document ID is a prop. Okay. The ID of the document you want to edit. Wow. So you can edit the same way. Are we going to do that? No. That's okay. The data table. Movies app 2 component, which we use to replace the existing movies app component. Lib modules components. All right, bring this guy in and see what happens. So now they're all in a table, and we can edit them there. Pretty awesome. Oh, this is fun. Man, they make it so easy. I wonder, is that actually going to show me network traffic? Interesting. It didn't register as web traffic. Huh. It looks like every 2 seconds it's polling for updates. Well, that's interesting. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a GraphQL thing. Use app 2. Huh. You can just say replace component. Wow, that's interesting. Huh. Review field is back. We're not using our fragment to load data anymore. The data table is doing its best to guess the appropriate fields. Specifying a fragment is a good idea. Data table component also includes a search function. The name and review fields happen to have the same searchable true property in our schema. Oh, there's search. Wow, that's great, because search is something I've been thinking a lot about. What about, is it fault tolerant? Star. Not super, but it's still pretty good. That's great. What you have to do is say searchable true. That's great. I'm very excited about that. Admin accounts automatically pass permission checks. Lib modules permissions. Sign up for a new account. Okay. Lib modules permissions. Gotta change who can access certain things. I think that's it. Okay, great. New button should be back. Great. Try creating a new movie. Great. Okay. And now that I've created it, I can edit it, which is pretty great. Updateowned. Wow, this is like Rails. Pretty crazy. any user belonging to members, which is a preset, which is anyone that's logged in can update your own, delete your own, or create. Pretty great. If the document's user ID property is equal to the user's own ID. Makes sense. Sorting. Okay. Created at. What if you want to sort our list of meters alphabetically? Do this using views. A view is just an easy way to set up sort and filtering parameters. Movies app 2, options, terms view alphabetical. And then in modules views. Okay, so we uncomment this. It's an option. And then in lib modules views. We're adding the view, which is a weird way to say it's just a parameter for how things are getting sorted. And now they are in alphabetical. The add view function. First the name of the view, and then set of terms and parameters object, which is this. Sort name 1. Terms is one of the arguments. The GraphQL query used to fetch our data and will be passed. Output's a parameters object that can be used as a MongoDB specifier. You can have the view act as an intermediary between the client and the database. Interesting. So it's talking to Mongo. So powerful. All right, internationalization. Change any text string. New. It's a new movie. The specific string is registered in the ID data table new. Web module site18.js 18n. Data table new movie. So new is now new movie. Pretty wild. All right. Create routes, register components, core components, schema, collection. Okay. Where do you go from now? I'm going to screenshot this. Review, if you'd like to follow along with the written tutorial, movies example. It covers some of the same things, such as how to write your own resolvers and mutations, which would probably be good. Vulkan documentation, YouTube channel, and Slack. I'm very excited about this. I think for people that haven't done as much backend, it can be kind of intimidating. And they seem to be making it easy to get started. I think with that, you lose some of the kind of hands-on nature, but yeah, it seems very powerful. So that's it for this tutorial. I'm going to sign off and enjoy the rest of my night. Hope you guys are doing well.